Rate equations, reaction rate definition, the changing amount of reactant slash product per unit time. Tangent, what is a tangent? It's a line that just touches a curve. It has the same gradient as the curve does at that point. A line that just touches a curve has the same gradient as curve does at that point. Rate equations, they tell you how the rate is affected by concentrations of reactants. Order of reaction definition, the power to which the concentration of a reactant is raised in the rate equation. The power to which the concentration of a reactant is raised in the rate equation. Rate units mole per dm minus cube s to the power minus 1. Define rate constant K. A number that links the rate of reaction to the concentration of reactants. A number that links the rate of reaction to the concentration of reactants. Bigger the value of K, faster the reaction. And it makes sense because actually no, never mind, let's carry on. Definition of initial rate of reaction, the rate at the start of reaction. And how do we find it? We find from concentration time graph by calculating the gradient of tangent at t is equal to 0. Rate determining step is the slowest step in a multi-step reaction. Rate determining step key facts. If the reactant appears in the rate equation or something derived from it, it must be in the rate determining step. So don't be fooled that if you see a reactant appear in the rate equation, therefore that must be the rate determining step. If the reactant appears in the rate equation or something derived from it, it must be in the rate determining step. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, it could be something derived from it. If reactant doesn't appear in the rate equation, then it won't be in the rate determining step. That's a key fact. Rate determining step does not have to be the first step in the reaction. The first step in the mechanism does not have to be that. Definition of order reaction. With respect to a reactant, it shows the number of molecules of that reactant involved in the rate determining step. Shows the number of molecules of that reactant involved in rate determining step. Arrhenius equation. What does it show? It shows how the rate constant K varies with temperature and activation energy. So the formula, K equals AE to power minus EA over RT. I would always memorize it, even though I'm pretty sure they're giving you an exam. I would always memorize it, all the units. And also the rearranged formula, memorize it off by heart as well. K equals AE to power minus EA over RT. And the logarithmic form, ln K equals minus EA over RT plus ln A. And now when you're plotting these graphs and you know it's got a straight line graph, the gradient is always usually minus EA over R. How do you create an Arrhenius plot? By plotting ln K against 1 over T. Partial pressure definition. Each individual gas exerts its own pressure. That's what partial pressure is. The individual gas's pressure. Each individual gas exerts its own pressure. Mole fraction, the proportion of a gas mixture that is made up of a particular gas. The proportion of a gas mixture that is made up of a particular gas. Total pressure, the sum of all the partial pressures of the individual gases. The sum of all the partial pressures of individual gases. And then that is it for today's video.